Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go over the hotel pack really quick. One thing I want to make sure that people are aware of is the way that we're loading the hotel pack is going to be a little bit different than our dead load 250, but the finish on the dead load 250 is literally the same exact load as our hotel pack. So if you took our hotel pack, set it on top of the 150 in the back of the 250 dead load, so literally it's got to come out the same exact way. So the first thing we're going to do is we got the equipment here. We got a 6-foot New York hook here just as a reference for how long the fold will be in the hose. We got the tape measure there just to kind of show how that it is 6 feet. But also people can just kind of get down and use their arm span if they need to measure out the hose distance if they don't have this next to them. So anything approximate 6 feet will work. You can see that the distance of this tarp on the packaging is about 5. So you're gonna, if you get 6 inches over each side of this, you're probably gonna do fine. It's not rocket science. It's just there are some references out there if you want to get the hose length right. So we'll measure about like that on the hose. So when we have our hose laid out, you're gonna have the couplings that are connected here at this end near the hotel pack straps. We're gonna pin straight out so it loads cleanly. What we do is we connect them together. All the way to the very end of the right side is where the female will go. And then all the way to the left side where the male will go. So you're gonna have male coupling, female coupling. And then when you're ready to load it, come around to the male side and face back towards where the female side would be. Okay, so I'll do a quick measurement with my arm span like I was showing you earlier. I'm gonna go about to right there. Firefighter McKelly and I are gonna kind of just team up and make sure that we kind of keep this thing tight and clean. So we'll bring it all the way as close as we can get it to that coupling. She'll manage that side down there. We'll get it packed as tight as we can. And then when we get to the end here, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the top side is going to be covering the whole length here. So if we got to make a quick Dutchman underneath here, we're just going to slide this underneath. That way, when we have, and we'll create a little space for our nozzle there. So pull as much as we got, pinch it in. Yep. The reason for this is because we want to capture this loop here inside the hose with the straps. If it's outside and the strap is here, you're just going to get a hose flapping, and we don't want to get caught on anything on the way out. So we want this continuous line here. The next thing we'll do is we'll take the nozzle and we'll connect it to the male side. Yep. And then we can tuck the nozzle. Yep, we can tuck the bail in. And then we're going to kind of work together. Let me get this back a little bit. Then we're going to work together to kind of flip it up on itself. Like that. Alright. Now we're both going to work to make sure this thing stays connected. And since we did it so tight here in the back, we got a nice tight coupling to the hose here. And we're going to try to keep it like that. Now we're just going to load it on top of itself, and this is very similar to how we're loading the hose in the bed with that dead load I was talking about. So now we got the last 50 feet coming on the top, right next to the side of the first 50. And we're just going to match it. In the past, we had the gated Y on the back, and we're going to go away from that. One of the reasons is there's some good literature out there showing the ineffectiveness sometimes of those gated Ys and pump pressures with smooth bores, but also it catches pretty good inside the back of the hose bed. It stays a little bit more clean. We can also start to use this for more of a lead line if we need to on our pre-connects, because now our nozzles spin off at the tip and the slug is there to allow us to connect an extra stick of hose to it. so we could use either 50 or 100 feet of extra hose on there quickly. If we do need the gated Y, we can locate that in the engineer's compartment. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to lift this up and we're going to get our strap underneath it, or you want to just lift it onto it. So we'll just work together to lift on top onto the strap. We're going to try to get it centered if we can. How much is that enough? You want to do this a bit more? We can go a little bit more towards you. So we try to get it symmetrical, leaning off the side there, and then we're just going to strap it up real tight. If you need straps, just contact Engineer Bashar. He's able to make them. The last thing you want to make sure is that your loop is facing toward your nozzle, your pull strap. It doesn't necessarily matter, but that's kind of more of the standardized ways to keep the nozzle and the strap together. So when we're pulling it out, we got the attack line here. If we want to load it like a Minuteman style or anything like that, we got it all connected in the front. And that's pretty much it.